The old man who lived at the end of our lane was a recluse, a ghost long before he actually died. We called him Mr. Silas. His house was a splintered grey thing, choked by ivy and shadowed by ancient oaks. The windows were dark, like vacant eyes. When he passed, nobody noticed for a week. The town sighed a collective, quiet relief. His house went on the market for a ridiculously low price. But my friends Liam, Chloe, and I were in that restless summer between high school and whatever came next. We saw the for sale sign as an invitation. We decided to spend a night there before some developer tore it down. It was a stupid, classic dare. The front door was locked, but a ground floor window was loose. Liam, ever the show-off, pried it open and slithered inside. The air that billowed out was thick and stale, smelling of dust and something else, something vaguely metallic and sweet, like old pennies and decay. We followed him in our flashlights, cutting nervous slices through the darkness. The inside was a time capsule, furniture huddled under white sheets like a congregation of ghosts. A grand staircase swept up into the shadows of the second floor. Everything was coated in a fine layer of grey dust. Spooky, Chloe whispered, her voice barely a breath, but kind of sad. We explored the ground floor first. In the living room, a grandfather clock stood silent, its pendulum still. Liam tapped the glass. "Bet we can get this old thing working," he said, but his voice lacked its usual bravado. Maya was drawn to a collection of old photographs on the mantelpiece. They were all of people with stern, unsmiling faces, their eyes seeming to follow our flashlight beams. "Look at this," Maya said, holding one up. It was a family portrait, but one figure at the back was blurred, as if they'd moved during the exposure, or as if they weren't quite there to begin with. A shiver traced its way down my spine. "Let's check upstairs," I suggested, mostly to move away from those staring eyes. The stairs groaned under our weight, each step a complaint from the old house. The air grew colder as we ascended. There were 3 doors on the upstairs landing. The first opened into a master bedroom, surprisingly tidy. The second was a bathroom with a clawfoot tub stained with rust. The third door, at the very end of the hall, was different. It was painted black and had a heavy iron bolt on the asterisk outside asterisk. "Why would you lock a door from the outside?" Chloe asked, her voice trembling slightly. Liam, of course, saw it as a challenge. He fiddled with the bolt. It was stiff and rusted, but with a final grating shriek, it slid open. He pushed the door. It swung inward into absolute blackness. No light from our flashlights seemed to penetrate it. It was like staring into a solid wall of night. A strange sound began to emanate from the room. It was faint at first, a rhythmic, scraping noise. Scrape, pause, scrape, pause. It sounded like fingernails dragging slowly across a wooden floor. "What is that?" Maya whispered, clutching my arm. "Probably just rats," Liam said, but he didn't move to enter. He just stood there, peering into the void. The scraping stopped. The silence that followed was somehow worse, heavy and expectant. And then, from the deepest part of the darkness, a voice whispered. It was a child's voice, thin and reedy, but it held a chilling, ancient quality. It whispered a single word. Peekaboo. We froze. Every horror movie trope, every ghost story we'd ever told around a campfire became terrifyingly real in that instant. Liam slammed the door shut and fumbled to slide the bolt back into place. It wouldn't budge. It was as if something on the other side was holding it. "Come on, man, let's go," I yelled, pulling him away. We scrambled back down the stairs, our feet thundering on the wood. The grandfather clock in the living room suddenly chimed, a loud, single resonant bong that echoed through the house. We hadn't touched it. We hadn't wound it. We ran. We didn't stop until we were back out the window, gasping for air in the cool night. We sprinted down the lane, not daring to look back, the sound of that single chime still ringing in our ears. We never spoke of it again. Not really. We'd try, but the words would catch in our throats. The friendship, once so easy, became strained, tainted by a shared, unspoken terror. We drifted apart when summer ended. Years passed. I moved away, went to college, started a life. I tried to convince myself it was just our imaginations, a spooky old house playing tricks on us. But I never forgot that voice, or the scraping. Then, about a month ago, I got a call from Chloe. She sounded wrong. Her voice was flat, exhausted. "Do you remember that night?" she asked, without any preamble. "Of course," I said, my stomach tightening. "I've been having dreams," she said, "about that black door. I hear the scraping, and the voice. It's not whispering peekaboo anymore." She took a shaky breath. "It's whispering my name." I tried to reassure her, told her it was just stress. 2 weeks later, Liam called me. He'd heard from Maya. Chloe had been found in her apartment. The official reports said she'd had a sudden, severe psychological break. The police had found her in her bedroom closet. She had torn off all her own fingernails, scratching at the inside of the door. Liam was terrified. She kept talking about a game, he said, his voice cracking. A game of hide-and-seek. She said it was her turn to hide. The old fear buried for so long resurfaced, cold and sharp. That night, I couldn't sleep. I just lay in bed, staring at my own closet door, listening to the quiet sounds of my apartment. And then I heard it. Faint, distant, but unmistakable. Scrape, pause, scrape, pause. It sounded like it was coming from far away, maybe from the apartment next door, maybe just from inside my own head. I squeezed my eyes shut, my heart hammering against my ribs. The scraping continued, a slow, patient rhythm, and then a whisper, so close it felt like it was right beside my ear. It wasn't Chloe's name, it whispered this time. It was mine. I'm recording this because I don't know what else to do. It's been 3 days. The scraping never stops. Sometimes it's distant. Sometimes it sounds like it's just on the other side of the wall. I haven't slept. I'm afraid to close my eyes. I'm afraid to be in the dark. I've started barricading my closet door at night, but I know it's useless. This isn't a ghost that haunts a house. It's a ghost that latches on. We opened that door. We let it see us. And it wants to finish the game. Liam called me this morning. He hears it too. He asked me, who's next? You or me? But I don't know the answer. All I know is that it's always getting closer. The game isn't over. It's just waiting for us to hide, and it is very, very good at seeking. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story, or if it left you feeling a little uneasy, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. It means the world to me. Stay safe, and whatever you do, don't go looking for doors that are locked from the outside. You might not like what's waiting to play.